आज रात 12 बजे से
Hello and welcome to Bikers on PMS. The intent of this series is to increase our social connect with bikers during this time of social distancing. So this whole series is shot on webcams and we are here chatting about motorcycles, about more motorcycles, and if there is some time left, just maybe about some more motorcycles. Now, first up is an ex-corporate lawyer who left everything to become a storyteller. He picked up his Thunderbird and has been extensively traveling, making some of the classiest vlogs out there. If you haven't seen his drone videos by now, it's a good time to check them out. Rumor has it that throughout his life, he has always traveled toll-free. So in this episode of Bikers on PMS, let's catch up with Rohit Ashok, aka the toll-free traveler, all the way from a quaint village in Tamil Nadu.
Rural living, dude. Rural living. I mean, I came away to the village because at a time like this is just so much more peaceful than being in the city.
Where are you staying?
I live outside Chennai, man. Like I've told you, this is the forest that is not a forest, near a village but not in a village, and just a peaceful spot, not too far away from the city. Keeps me away from all the noise, but close enough to get to the city if I need something. So
you're at the same. You're not at the same apartment.
No, I've come to my father's place. So the apartment was a little bit intense, man. Like obviously you have government rules, then you have state, like central government, then state government, then you have like municipality, and then you have apartment rules, and that was like too much of a shocker for me. I was like, listen, I can't deal with this. I don't want to have to take permission of XYZ random person to do anything. And
Oh no, you wouldn't believe what people are doing here. So sometimes if someone's out for a walk, there are these women in the apartment that come out and start banging their utensils to tell them that you have to go back. Somehow Modi ji made it for clapping, but these of them made it like a notice of, go back to your apartment. The sad part is that there was a gentleman walking today, and he doesn't know the rule that if someone's banging the utensil, I'm supposed to go back home. He's like, oh yeah, they're clapping for me. I must walk some more.
what confusing times, man. How have you been? How are things?
Good, yeah. So, of course, the setup is off, the operations and the manufacturing is off, but that also means that we're trying new things, a lot of new things, including the video that we're shooting, and just a lot of new random things, and trying to see what more we can do in this time of quarantine, if you would call it.
In the time of social distancing. I don't know what quarantine is. I mean, actually, this is something that's kind of interesting because, like, I think a lot of us, right, given a choice on a day, like everybody longs for a holiday, can I just stay home? Will it rain so much that office will be like, don't come, stay at home and work? Like everybody prays for this. I remember when I was a lawyer, and then I've seen people who I know who work, who would be like, it'll start raining at 6 o'clock in Bombay, and then you're like, okay, just keep raining until 10 a.m. because then the trains will stop or something, and then they'll say, okay, listen, work from home, and working from home is more chill. But now when someone else tells you to be in your house, right, we fundamentally have a problem with that. Like maybe that is exactly what we want to do, but they told us to do it, and then it no longer is as appealing, I guess.
Yeah, and it's more like now the government's asking you to do it. It's like till now the boss would ask you once in a while if the boss is a nice one. But now, all of a sudden the government and everybody, even people you don't know, will come and tell you to stay home. And you're like, no, everyone's telling me to stay home, I must go out. The rebel in me.
I think more than anything else, the challenge is knowing that even if you want to go out, technically, you can't. Right? And that sort of weighs on your mind if you keep thinking about it. Like maybe your reality is such that you could spend the whole day at home, everything exists over there. But just knowing that if you wanted to step outside, you could, that psychologically makes a difference. Right now, like that option doesn't exist. I mean, technically, you can be prosecuted for stepping out on the street without valid reason. Like, and imagine this is because of a microorganism.
Yeah.
An invisible enemy.
It's like, I was just thinking the virus is more like, that, which was that movie where this guy would go invisible all of a sudden and then do stuff that he was not allowed to do. in I think Invisible Man or something like that. So
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to go. I'll be like, oh, Mr. Invisible, or in Hindi it was Mr. India. No?
But Mr. India was a good guy.
Oh, he was a good guy, is it? But he also went invisible and did some stuff.
Yeah. But you could always catch him with red goggles. Now you can't catch the virus with red goggles. Just turn on a red light and you'll find it.
Maybe that's the solution, dude. Like, maybe you just need the Mr. India red goggles. No one's tried it yet.
So what are you up to these days? What is the next project that you're working on? Is there a next trip that you're working on? What are you doing?
So, I mean, for me, I think this is actually a good thing, right? Because, I mean, as you know, like 4 years ago, I was a corporate lawyer. And then I sort of like set off on this thing of doing massive motorcycle expeditions. And year on year, I've just been doing something or the other. And it's just been going with the flow. And actually, I think I spoke to you about this earlier this year as well. And I said that this year I want to pause. I want to like take some time to process what all has happened in the last 4 years. Because this is such a different reality. I don't think I've actually taken the time to realize what has happened to my life. It's so disconnected. The realities are so different now. That having been said, I was hoping to be able to travel a little bit. It wasn't that I just wanted to sit around and do other things and not travel. But obviously now that is no longer a possibility. One way to look at it is, oh no, my world has come crashing down. But I think this is good. I think this will give me time to start putting together some of the things that maybe I've thought of doing. Like recently, I finally got my blog going again. It's something I think for the last 2 years I've been pushing off. But finally, like there's this whole bunch of data about stuff I learned when I traveled to Nepal that's now there on my website. It took me forever. I actually wrote it 7 months ago. Never got down to posting it because I have to go find photographs to put on the damn thing. Oh man, so much time it takes. So as long as I was distracted by other things, it never moved up on the priority list. But now a lot of things that were sort of being pushed away, I have the time to get down to doing it. So no specific agenda, day to day. For me, this is my life. When I'm not on the road, I work from home. So it's just that I'm going to work from home for longer. And eventually we'll be able to travel. Realistically, I don't think the travel scene is going to be like back to normal for a while to come. 21 days, 3 months, all of these are just random numbers. Like when you actually want to get back to traveling, I don't know when one should actually do that. I mean, I don't know what. I'm not an expert, I'm not a scientist, but I know this much that even say like if places are in lockdown for 3 months, like you were telling me New York is in lockdown for quite a while and stuff. Eventually when they come out of that, if you are planning to go there, right, when do you really want to do that? So we'll have to see what else we can do. I need to learn to create non-travel content. Currently not very successful at it. Let's see.
You could start doing your woodcraft and start creating content around woodcraft.
So that's something that, I mean, not everybody watches it. But if I just say something to something 300 kilometers on bike, that seems to. So
That works.
yeah, man. But that's not why I do this. Like there's so much more to life. My life itself and our lives. Even if you love motorcycles and you love everything, there's so much more to life. There's so much more that defines you than just riding a bike.
Absolutely. It's not just so if you ride motorcycles, that's not the only thing that you do in life. You know, there's somehow there's a perception that if you're creating content on motorcycles, that's all you've been doing in your life.
Yeah.
Speaking of riding motorcycles, when was the last time you rode one?
No comments. Hey, listen, I came to the village so that I can at least ride around inside my compound, okay? And to be honest, now around over here, people are riding bindas. I haven't stepped out yet. But I mean, eventually I'll have to go out to pick up some groceries and stuff. Nothing is close by. I'll have to go a kilometer or so away to get it and come. But locals are like chilling, man. they don't care, I think. They're going to the village to check whether the tea shop is open, and I'm just like, it doesn't work like that. I guess, I mean, the city that makes so much sense, but over here people live outdoors, and like there's so much agriculture that happens around here, and that is technically essential because If we're keeping food being needs to be available in stores, then it needs to be made, like people need to be growing their crop and harvesting their crop and doing all of that. So it's a interesting contradiction.
Yeah, that's something that we've never, at least staying out here in the cities, we've never thought of before. That the farmers still need to grow the crops if you want to survive this for the next 3 months or 4 months or whatever, how many months it will ever take.
Yeah, but let's talk about the positive stuff, dude. Like there's so much positive stuff as well. For me, I think, like I was saying, this is time to start doing things that you've put off for whatever reason, right? And it's a flow, like you were saying about your stuff as well, right? You were like, because your production is shut down, it's time for you to experiment with other things. It gives you the time to do that. And for a lot of people, I think that's the reality, and it does that for me as well. Either like you have a necessity to experiment and try something else, or you have a curiosity, or you simply have the time, and how you use that time, that is going to be the biggest thing. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about how all you need to do is stay at home and watch Netflix. No, man. That's not what you do with this time.
Content, and they can't create more because they are also staying at home.
Yeah. No, but that's not what you do with this time. I mean, time is precious. It's the most precious commodity in the world, if you ask me. Right? And now you've been given, like those of us who are lucky enough have been given a gift of extra time. We need to be so responsible about how we use it. That's the ultimate gift that you can get. So in all of this chaos and all of this disaster and everything that's happening, we've actually been given the biggest gift that there is. We need to decide how we want to use it. I don't want to do this challenge, that challenge, and every other challenge under the sun. So I've kind of stayed out of that. But I mean, if that's what gets you going, then great. Yeah, like if someone is wanting to get healthy and you do like 100-day some push-up challenge and that makes you do those push-ups for 100 days, then great. By all means, do it. Because now you can do the push-ups and then you can sleep for 15 minutes. You don't have to go to office. Then you can get up and do your office work. Yeah.
It's like God's just given us this. God's like, you guys are too busy. Take this time off and think of how you can make your life better instead of cribbing about it.
I think a lot of people are also going to suddenly remember things that they used to do. Whatever it is, like because your routine, Monday to Saturday routine, you keep sacrificing things, and this is something I used to do. I sort of switched lifestyles primarily because of this, which is that along the way, work keeps taking up more and more of your life, and you keep sacrificing some other facet, some other interest, because you're like, oh no, I need to be at work 1 hour earlier, or my work is running further, or you just be like, eventually you get to a place where if I finished my work for the day, that means I'm done for the day. Hey, this not touching your face thing is so difficult, man.
I know. Every time I tell people don't touch their face, I'm usually doing like, like don't do what I'm doing.
Yeah, but touching your beard is okay. But like you're sweating a little bit, you wipe something, can't do that.
That day in my factory, so I called everyone who was working there. So there were about 20-25 people. I called them in to tell them about what the virus is about and exactly bust all their myths, because I had been hearing so many random things from the people who are working on my floor to say that if you eat onions, it won't happen to you. If you take a warm bath, it won't happen to you. I had some religious things also told to me, which I won't say now. So I thought I'll call all of them and tell them that this is what it is, and I'll tell you exactly what's on the WHO website. And then while saying, I'm like, you know what, you should not touch your face. And I'm like, like, yes, don't do this again. And I think during that conversation, I touched my face at least 10 times.
But you become so conscious, no? You're like, oh man, I do this. Oh, I have to stop that. Like, I don't get it. Like, did we need COVID-19 to happen to learn that we should wash our hands? Really? Really?
But how many times do you wash your hands now?
So, I wash my hands quite frequently, but not like 1 hour everything, because I'm inside the house, okay, mostly. If I sort of touch anything outside the house, or if I'm cooking, you're opening packets, you're sort of doing something that other people may have come in contact with, then I definitely wash my hands. If I step outside when I come in, I wash my hands. Sometimes, just for the sake of it. Because I'm like, if I wash my hands now, there must be at least another billion people in the world currently washing their hands. And then you just want to be a part of this virtual community.
Joining hands without.
Joining hands without touching. Yeah. Whenever I do that, I just wonder, I'm like, really, did we need coronavirus and all of this to come here to learn that we should wash our hands?
The worst hit, I think, are not the poor guys, it's Corona beer from the whole thing. Like, what did they do wrong in their whatever 100 years of existence for some Chinese dude to name a virus after them?
No, but there's something around the whole coronavirus. No, it's a type or something. Because they keep calling it the novel coronavirus. Why is it called the novel coronavirus? I think there's something to it. So maybe
Away
Corona
from
should have
everyone
thought
else.
about what they were doing before. Right? But I'm sure they're going around telling everybody it's COVID-19. COVID-19. Right? Corona? What Corona? No, this is Corona.
It's like now they can't even reach out to the so-called influencers to say, why don't you promote my beer? It's like, I'm going to send you free Corona. He's like, no, don't. And that too extra.
With lemon.
With lemon.
This is gonna affect brand value big time. Man. Aren't you glad you're called Trip Machine?
I just hope they don't launch a virus with my company's name again.
By the way, when am I getting coffee, bro? I'm sitting here in times of lockdown drinking like instant coffee because Siddharth over here.
I'm going to send you as soon as the courier guys open up.
That's what you said to me in February when the courier guys were not closed.
Sorry. The packaging is done. Now everything is stopped. It's all designed and stuff. It's just now you just can't make it. But you'll have to wait.
It's okay, we will emerge from this.
Yeah, with fresher coffee.
More sensible, hopefully, That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that people will come out of this a little bit more aware, a little bit more appreciative of the smaller things. The things we take for granted, like being able to step outside of our house. Like when you do it, you need to be like, wow. We do it every day. We just do it so grudgingly. Half the time your mind is somewhere else. You don't notice it when you're so caught up in the grind, so as to speak. But just being able to do the small things, hopefully everybody values it a little bit more. One of the reasons why I quit my job is because I had this realization that the world is changing so quickly and there's so much happening. Earthquakes, natural disasters, terrorist attacks, something else, now virus attack, everything, that no matter how safely you live, you actually don't know how long you're going to live for. Like, you can't control being alive anymore. I mean, you never could, but now the likelihood of being caught in one of these events is so much higher. So you might as well live while you can, while you're alive. No, like live now. Don't keep living for, in the future I will be alive. No, you're alive now, be alive now.
Yeah, absolutely. And even little things and a lot of things that we take for granted, even in terms of, say for example, beer. Yeah. Beer technically wasn't an essential and hence now you can't buy it. No, but everyone takes beer for granted.
I think only you did. If you live in Tamil Nadu, you don't take beer for granted. Like I've told you, Tamil Nadu, TASMAC, the government controls the alcohol. So like the types of beer available in Tamil Nadu are very limited. I think I've heard that now you get more brands available, but otherwise for the longest time there was only like Sandpiper and something else. People had to drive to Pondicherry to be able to drink Kingfisher. Like Kingfisher was like 150 kilometers drive each way. So people from Tamil Nadu have never taken beer for granted. It's a different reality here.
All right. Thank you so much, Rohit.
Thank you, Sid. Stay safe, stay home, stay positive, stay... What else?
Away from everyone else.
Stay away from everyone else. Stay away from your motorcycle unless it's not moving.
Keep it parked away.
Stay away from temptation.
Absolutely. Same to you. You can still ride, but do it as less as possible.
Only to the grocery store.
Yes.
Yeah. 50 Cent is eventually going to make a song about this. Cool, man. See you.
So that was a great conversation with Rohit, and just to give you a heads up, there are many more coming. Tell us in the comments below who you'd like us to catch up with and we'll get them here. Don't forget to like this video, to share this video and follow Trip Machine for more such content. We will see you guys very soon with another episode of Bikers on PMS.
आज रात 12 बजे से